Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Barker with the Natural Athletes Clinic, and I want to talk to you today about muscle tears. So obviously muscle tears are bad news. If you've done a sudden movement and you felt a sharp pain or stabbing pain, or even sometimes a popping sensation, and then you even notice a little bit of a knot in that area, well, that's a muscle tear. Most of the time, these are non-surgical, meaning you don't need to get surgery or anything like that, but you do need to work with a physical therapist to make sure that that muscle heals up properly. Now, muscle tears, like I said, are very painful and they take a long time to heal, but our job is to help you heal them up naturally. Now, if you go to a regular doctor, they're probably going to tell you to take ibuprofen as needed all day long, every day until that pain goes away, and that can be a long time. Now, you'll hear me talk about the dangers of using these NSAID or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, Aleve, ibuprofen, Motrin, things like that. We don't want you using those chronically over a long period of time. In fact, I want you to use them as little as possible because they have a lot of nasty side effects with them. They make your stomach bleed, and they also slow down how your cartilage repairs. Now, cartilage doesn't necessarily have anything to do with that muscle repair, but as an athlete, you're going to need good cartilage in your joints too. But regardless, we want to keep you off of that ibuprofen and use some natural medicines to help speed up the healing of that torn muscle so you can get back to doing what you love. A couple things come to mind when we think about healing up muscle tears, and those are proteolytic enzymes. So enzymes are little chemicals that your body uses to clean up messes. So obviously when you've got a torn muscle, there's a lot of repair going on. The immune system is also cleaning up that damaged and injured muscle, tearing it down and then rebuilding it. So the enzymes will help speed that process up. We use two proteolytic enzymes a lot in our anti-inflammatory formula, and that's serrapeptase and protease. And those are two of the main ones that help, like I said, clean things up, and they also have a nice anti-inflammatory effect. Now, speaking of anti-inflammatory, you're going to be in a lot of pain. That's normal. You can't really get around that. But we also want to walk a fine line between allowing a little bit of inflammation to happen, because that is how your body goes and repairs things. But too much inflammation can slow things down. Too much inflammation is very painful too. Now, what can we do naturally? Well, fortunately, we've got a lot of really good natural medicines that can help with that inflammation. A couple that come to mind are boswellia, which is also known as frankincense, and that comes from the Indian subcontinent and also Nepal, and it's got a very long historical use for muscle injuries, pain, inflammation, things like that. We use bromelain, which is another type of enzyme. It's also a proteolytic enzyme derived from the pineapple stem, actually. You can't eat enough pineapple to get a lot of bromelain, by the way. So, of course, pineapple is a healthy food, but eating gobs and gobs of pineapple isn't going to really give you a whole lot of bromelain. It needs to be in a special preparation. Curcumin, which maybe you've heard of also by now. Curcumin is derived from the Indian spice turmeric. Curcumin is awesome. It's very good anti-inflammatory, but it needs to be a special type that's attached to something called phosphatidylcholine. That helps its absorption by about 20%. Regular old curcumin is very hard for your stomach to absorb. It just doesn't get taken up into your body. So you want to look at getting a special type of curcumin. And then we also use something called devil's claw. Devil's claw is actually from South Africa, also a very, very potent anti-inflammatory medicine. And then of course we use ginger, which also has a lot of good anti-inflammatories. And all these different herbs, when I say anti-inflammatory, that means a lot of different chemical processes and a lot of different inflammatory pathways that these different herbs actually inhibit. So that's why we mention a smattering of these different herbs, because you want to hit that inflammation from as many different angles as you can. And using natural medicines and botanical medicines like this will give you very, very good coverage for this, get that inflammation down. It's not going to stomp it out totally, because like I said, you do want to have a little bit of inflammation, but it'll help heal that muscle up very nicely, and then you won't have to suffer the side effects of taking ibuprofen for several weeks, because that's how long it's going to take to heal that muscle up. Okay, so I hope some of these tips help you guys out and that your muscle heals up quickly. We'll see you back out there, all right?